Hey guys, Peter here to tell you about the latest from Wednesday 13 Horrifier out October 7th on Napalm Records. The album has 11 tracks, 39 minutes in length, and this is the band's 9th full-length studio record. They are an American horror rock band. As far as the design goes, this album feels more like a compilation, less like a full-length record. It has this stop-and-go motion which creates a very bumpy experience if you're trying to navigate through it. Impossible to find a connection point between these songs that you can hold on to and see the fluidity not being interrupted with every single track. Now, this is not happening just because of how the album is structured or just because of how the album is put together. I honestly don't think you can move songs around and make the experience any better than what it is. This is just the result of how the sound is put forward. Now, the sound on this album was heavier, thicker, perhaps a little bit darker than what I was expecting. It changes the momentum of the songs. It changes some of the tempos of the songs. It allows you to have slower, drag out tracks more consistently from start to finish. And when you look at the guitar performance, it has a very important impact on how you perceive not just the individual songs, but how you perceive the overall record. There are two styles, two approaches. Tracks that have a heavy guitar sound that live off of what the guitars are doing. The guitars are the main driver of the experience within those tracks. And then you have songs where the guitars blend better with the drums and bass in order to create a wall of sound that's more uniform, that's a little bit brighter, allowing the vocals to jump in the forefront. And the vocals are the ones leading those tracks, pushing you and connecting with the listener across each and every single portion that those songs have to offer. These two different styles don't really work well with one another. It feels too far apart in order for them to coexist on the same record. This is not to say that the guitars don't sound good across both elements. I just feel like the slower, heavier, more pacey guitar sound doesn't elevate the quality of the vocals. It doesn't allow you to grasp better the content of the lyrics, and it changes the momentum of the album. It also doesn't allow the songs to be as hooky, as catchy as they could be. And then when you get to a song that changes that paradigm, that shifts it, that allows the sound to be more collective, that allows the sound to be slightly brighter, where the songs feel more hooky, where the songs feel more catchy, where the vocals are in the forefront, you see how far apart these two worlds are, and I tend to gravitate towards the second. And because there's not enough songs like that, I felt like there were too many gaps of just dead time where the album wasn't going anywhere, wasn't moving forward, wasn't going backwards, was just kind of stagnant. And once again, this is not to say that the quality of the guitar sound is not there. I just don't feel like that specific approach works well for a Wednesday 13 record. Specifically a record that merges in songs that have higher tempos, more energy, and definitely more hookier and more catchier. Now, the vocals are consistent from start to finish, and if you're trying to find that red line that connects these tracks, perhaps there's a very thin red line across the vocal performance. I enjoy the backing vocals, I enjoy some of the layers, but the consistency was really important, and at the same time that it was consistent, it still felt like it was matching the energy that you were getting out of the songs themselves. One of the highlights, one of the few highlights that I take away from this record is definitely the vocal performance, what it gives, and how consistent it becomes. Now, all around, this is not what I was expecting from this album. I was expecting this album to be more energetic, to have more hooks, to be a lot more catchier, to be a lot more memorable. It's a great sounding album. It's an album that has diversity, that offers different sides of what you can do as a band, but they didn't find what brought them together. They rather exposed what takes them apart. As far as favorite songs are concerned, I want to start off with Good Day to Be a Bad Guy. One of my favorite songs because it has all of the elements that I really look forward in a Wednesday 13 song, which is that hookiness, that catchiness, that chorus that brings you in and keeps you there, keeps you grounded and connected with the song. It has a great tempo. It's a track that has a fun aspect to it in terms of how it sounds and how it moves, the lyrical content, the chorus, everything about it seems lighthearted and fun. The guitars still have a little bit of a bite, a little bit of a heaviness to it, and the bass and drums really complement the sound and allow the overall experience to be more robust, to have more texture, and to definitely have more substance. Now, it feels like there's heaviness and then there's light moments. It's a song that blends these two worlds really well, but the chorus is what sells the song, and that allows the track all around to stay memorable, be memorable, have incredible playability from start to finish. Next you have Hell Is Coming, definitely a slower, riffier track. This one falls on the scale of songs that depends more heavily on the guitars, and the guitars are driving more of the experience, more so than the vocals. It has a dark vibe to it. The guitar tone is great. The delivery is great. It has a little bit of an old school style sound in terms of how the guitars are put together and what they deliver. The vocals match the sound and match the atmosphere of the song. They blend perfectly with what's happening, creating a very nice symbiosis between those two worlds. Using layers with the vocals help to create volume on the vocal side, because you have that volume and thickness on the sound side. So this way you're able to match both worlds without changing too much of the DNA of the song. Now, I like the fact that this song, while being a methodic track all around, it has a very explosive solo, and that changes how you perceive the song. That solo is super important on a song like this, because it's the only time that you feel like you're infusing light, energy, and brightness into a very somber track. Important element, changes the dynamic, it makes the song feel slightly bigger, slightly brighter. Last but not least, my favorite song on the entire album, Halfway to the Grave. This is a phenomenal track. I wish this album had more songs like this. It has a great up-tempo, it sounds awesome, it has a great driven sound. Once again, it's about the wall of sound coming at you with guitar, drums, and bass, everything working together to create more of a uniform approach, not depending on one element versus the other, but rather depending on all of them together, using the vocals in the forefront, allowing you to gravitate to those vocals, connect with those vocals, then having a chorus that's memorable, that's hooky, easy to remember, easy to learn, easy to sing along. All of these elements make the song super interesting, super engaging, memorable. Like I said, a phenomenal track, a super fun track to listen to. It's one of those that when you're finished, you're ready to go back again and listen to it. It has that sort of playability, it has that sort of mood, it has that sort of vibe. This is it, Wednesday 13, Horrifier, out October 7th on Napalm Records. Let me know your thoughts on the band, on the singles. Use the comment section below. I'll be reading those and getting back to you. Take care, guys.